Pearson Rabbit's story begins with Dr. Stephanie Pearson, a passionate OB/GYN at the height of her career. But when a shoulder injury struck during a precipitous delivery, her dreams were shattered, leaving her unable to practice medicine. Determined to make a difference, Stephanie became an advocate for her peers, guiding them through the complex disability process. Alongside insurance expert Scott Ravitz, Stephanie founded Pearson Ravitz, a company determined to approach insurance differently. Together, they set their mission to educate and empower physicians to protect their most valuable asset, their income, and the most important people in their life, their family.
Today, Pearson Ravitz serves the medical community in all 50 states. At Pearson Ravitz, they understand the unique concerns of physicians. Physician-founded and physician-focused, Pearson Ravitz builds human connections before they create quotes. Life can change in an instant. It's hard to imagine that a sudden illness or injury could leave you and your family in a devastating financial situation. But with a little planning and guidance, you can prepare for every possibility. Visit PearsonRavitz.com today to schedule your consultation with the Pearson Ravitz advisor.
Finally, a source of raw, real, and honest information on healthcare issues that matter most. Welcome to BS Free MD. From the latest medical information to how to stay sane as a doctor or a patient, no subject is taboo, no BS is allowed. Now, let's welcome your hosts, Doctors May and Tim Hindmarsh.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to another Doctales with Cocktails, where this is the premiere episode of us from our new location. It's a secret location. I'm not telling you where exactly, but somewhere in the vicinity of Sarasota, Florida. By special invitation only, can you come to this paradise pool?
Yes.
So we are so happy to be here. If you follow us and have been watching us and you're a fan or you listen to the show, you know that we've been trying to get here for a long while. And
3 years.
yes. And we're here. Yay. We made it. And I almost jumped out of my pants the other day when we got to the hotel Saturday. All
That's
of
one
us
of my
unscathed.
favorite things, actually.
I was waiting for that. So, welcome to Doctales with Cocktails, as usual, Wednesday nights at 6 p.m. on the left coast, west coast time, and 9 p.m. now so late at night in our new home time zone.
Honest to God, if by Christmas I'm used to East Coast time, I'll be surprised. Like, I actually have to go to work. Like, I actually have a job. I have to work
I'm finding
8 to 8.
tough to drink a cocktail at 9 p.m., but I'm taking one
Are you
for the
kidding?
team. I want
Tough to drink a cocktail at 9 p.m.
I like to sleep. It's the middle of the week. It's not like it's Friday or Saturday. Anyway.
I only drink in days that end in Y.
That's right. Well, today is Yay Day, right, Elizabeth?
Yes. And I'm debuting my new culturally appropriated Florida chalice of the alligator emerging from the egg.
And where did you get that, pray tell?
Well, of course, I got it very close.
It looks like a planter.
I got it incredibly close to the Everglades in New Mexico.
Of course.
In this on this truck stop that just sold all of this insane sort of ripped off
stuff made in China.
I have no idea. And lots of fireworks.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did post some photos of, I think, some of it. Did we post the pictures of the fireworks?
Yes.
I'm not. We'll have to.
I don't know. We took pictures of it. We took pictures of everything. And the last, I guess it's 11 days.
Oh, what? 11 days on the road, not 11 days since we left.
No, since we left. The 12, 13 days, almost 2 weeks. No, it's 2 weeks today since we left. That's exactly right.
That's right. We
first stop.
We're so numb right now from the traveling and all the things happening in the last 2 days. We've kind of been silent on social media, and some people were wondering what was going on, but we really had a lot going on because we actually had Monday, we had to purchase a home because we were homeless literally for 2 weeks, having nothing.
I think the term is houseless.
Well, that too.
The politically correct term.
We had no fixed address, so we were homeless and houseless, both. And then, all this thing that basically unloading our caravan of crap, as Tim called it, and getting things set up. So it's been kind of a whirlwind the last 2 days.
Yeah, no, it was.
And now we
honestly,
literally
thank you.
live out of a box.
Like, thank God for our 24-year-old son, because he is a beast loading and unloading and driving that U-Haul, because he likes to drive it at close to 75, which, since the contract is done now, they probably can't throw us in jail. But like, the steering wheel at about 70 just does this. And he's like, yeah, it's no problem. I just use one hand and let her buck. I'm like,
he pretends that it's a plane.
I don't know what he pretends it is.
He said, just let it you. I think he said, just like, let it ride, let it go, just like a plane. Just don't try to buck the system. I don't know.
Good Lord.
Like his F-16.
No, it was so terrible. Like, I mean, there was 2 or 3
times. Did you say that a certain speed that you were going at starts to vibrate?
Well, it's not just the speed; it's the speed and RPM. And we figured out that if it, like, especially if you have to be in the gas and it gets to a certain RPM, that what it does is it's like it sets up a harmonic through the suspension, and it all goes to complete crap. Like, it was really a thing. Very fatiguing, very mentally fatiguing. I almost got taken off the road in Beaumont, Texas by a tanker truck. Yeah. That was amazing.
I didn't see that happening. I was usually the back of the caravan, and I was the rescue vehicle in case something happened.
Well, in biker language, we call that sweep.
That was me. I was sweep.
You're riding sweep.
I was the coxswain. I was the what is it in a train? The
caboose.
I was the big caboose, the little caboose. That's me.
Yeah. So that was. Anyways, we're here. Remarkably, after 3,000 miles on I-10, I was pretty much convinced that we were going to open dishes and just pour out like sand.
I know. Okay,
and
so
nothing got wrecked. The 2 pinball machines with their glass, the big, massive sheets of pinball glass,
his precious cargo, as I called
absolutely unscathed. The Harley is fine.
I had a glass cabinet.
I've
literally
ridden the Harley. This is a testament to the mighty Dave Bowers packing abilities.
Yes. Let's just start off by saying, we didn't do a lot of video and posts about the packing, but we had a rainy day with that thing backed up tight as we could to the garage to minimize the gap between it and the garage door. And our friend Dave, who deserves so much applause and thanks, as we said, because of his packing skills. He was literally Tetrising all the stuff in there. And then, I don't know, didn't we share with everybody online that we got it packed, and then Tim realized he forgot his tickets to the concert in there?
Yes, to Power Trip, which absolutely, there was a point where I was like, why are we going to this? Like, it's just in the way. And it was so unbelievably worth it. Even May thought it was worth it.
Okay, so you have to.
So Power Trip.
We then the next day had to open up the U-Haul and unpack, and then Tim weaseled in there like a little mouse looking for crumbs of cheese. Found his tickets.
No, it was.
But that was a good thing to do.
No, that show was absolutely unbelievable.
So tell everybody
80,000 people.
Power Trip is, where it was. We got to start off with the journey. We meandered our way down, right, from Oregon into California.
Palm Springs.
Well, first we stayed in Sacramento.
Oh, yes.
I know you're just focused
Sacramento, the most forgettable place in the entire United States.
Right. And eye-opening prices of gas. As soon as we got to the bottom of the grapevine, holy moly. What was it? I took a picture.
$5.89.
No. It was $6.33 for premium, because that's what I buy.
Mm-hmm. What's gas here across the street from where we live?
$3.80.
Oh, it's $3.23. Yes, it is. It's almost half price.
Mm-hmm. But as our one friend from California thinks, isn't it the same price everywhere?
No, it's not.
So we got to Power Trip. Well, first off, and we'll get to the quiz, but questions in a bit. But I just wanted to summarize the trip. So we stopped in Sacramento for one night, a second night in Pasadena, where we lunched with a sort of semi-famous celebrity from our podcast to be announced soon. That was fun. And
Really fun.
Then we went to Palm Springs,
Yes.
Indio, and went to the Power Trip
So
concert.
in 105 miles, it only took us 4 miles to get to the show because we left a little late, which was fine. It was worth it because we had this meeting. So I missed Iron
The
Maiden,
very
which was
first
the
band
opening
was Iron
band,
Maiden. Tim,
which is what kind of idiot has a festival and has Iron Maiden as the opener? I'm sorry. That's
I agree, and I was
doesn't
bummed
make
that we
sense.
didn't get to see them.
But I've seen them 10 times. So
But since we got to lunch with you know who, if you're watching, it was totally worth it.
yes. And then we saw Guns N' Roses, which was, in my opinion, mixed. The music was amazing. Certain songs, Axl was great.
Yeah, just slide that around.
And certain songs, he's lost his range, shall we say. And then the next night was Judas Priest, which May was very surprised by because Rob Halford is absolutely a force of nature. It's insane how good that guy can sing at like 76. And then AC/DC, yes. And that was great. May's like,
music good, singing.
The singing was, I still thought it was great. Brian Johnson lives in the same city as we do, so that was amazing.
Yes, range is one of the first things to go.
And I thought they did a great job. They came basically out of retirement just for the show.
He did try to, I give it to him. He tried to perform really well and give.
Well, I think he did perform really well.
I think he did a great job. But I'm just
80,000 people there, which was amazing. Yet you could get out of the parking lot in less than 10 minutes.
Yeah, it was so.
It was
I think
unbelievably
it's the same
well
location as
organized.
Coachella, right? And it is probably what did you say? 10 square miles.
Well, I don't know if it's that big. I probably
think it
overestimated. It's very big. The Empire Polo Grounds. Apparently, they need a lot of room for playing polo, so that was cool. Then the next night was Tool and Metallica, and honestly, if you've never seen Tool, I don't know what you're doing. Because
so it was excellent. I loved it. It was my favorite. And
I've seen them, I don't know how many times now, 5 or 6 times. And every time it's just like, holy crap, how do they do that live?
Anyway, it was the whole weekend was super fun. Well, the evenings were nice and warm. It was well organized. People were great, respectable. Nothing crazy really happened there.
Yeah, because they're all 70.
Yeah. So amazing.
Not that there's anything wrong with being 70.
They weren't all 70, but
yes.
Lots of camping. There was tons of RV, tent camping, everything. Anyway,
yeah,
it was a good time. And it was a good break. And
completely worth it.
Glad we did it because I was really mad at him for wanting to stop there, but it was totally worth it. And then we hit the road Monday and headed to Arizona, stayed in Tucson and connected with the third member of our little caravan. Our son joined us because he headed down ahead of us with our new to us Escalade that we got after our little accident.
After the other one was totaled. So, yes. And then we went into New Mexico, which is kind of like old Mexico, actually. I'm not sure why they changed the name, but that's a different story. But having said that,
I think there's a javelina running past.
Or a gator. I don't know. Something was making noise. Having said that, what is amazing is the Carlsbad Caverns. We talked about that last week. Absolutely staggering. Really in the absolute middle of complete nowhere. Well worth the visit. 3.5 miles of underground walking, and then 200 or 400 or I don't know how many 100,000 bats exploding out of a cave.
I think I like the bat show better than the
bat show
is not better. I mean, equally the same. That was
well, and then we drove over a bat on the way out.
We did?
Yeah, one flew in front of the car and exploded a bat.
Oops.
Well, it's not our fault.
But seriously, it's kind of creepy to think that we walked down into the cavern and then 750 feet at the bottom, took the elevator on the way back up. But when we sat there and watched these things emerging and this like little swirly was like what am I thinking of? A cyclone of bats coming out of there. They just kept coming and coming. And I read that there's anywhere from the maximum amount has been 400,000 up to 1 million at some point of bats. And I'm like, where did they all hide when we were in there? It did stink.
Well, we did know where they shat.
Like a giant urinal in there for a while.
Because
Anyway, the vortex. That's the word I was looking for. Vortex.
Vortex bats.
And it looked like the sky was just black with these swarms. It was literally like swarms of bats.
The thing that was amazing to me is they got a lot of altitude. Like they have to do the vortex to get enough airspeed because they have to flap their little, sinewy wings. And then they had to be at least 3,000 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Like these clumps of bats. And then of course they come lower because they have to eat insects.
And they were scattering all over, mostly flying, look like south. Yes. But anyway, okay, so enough of that. But it was fascinating. It's a bucket list thing. And then we went in through Texas for 2 days, and I was really taken aback by El Paso. Let's just say I didn't want anything to happen as we drove through.
No,
because I was like looking on the right-hand side of the freeway, thinking I've never really thought that there was any places in the U.S. that looked that bad.
That's because you were looking into old Mexico.
Yeah. It was
because Juarez is essentially El Paso.
It was pretty surprising. So I don't know if anybody's been to El Paso that's on here, but which explains why a few miles later there's a big stop on the I-10 I thought, what the heck, did we go into Mexico? Because it was like a border crossing. And I thought, did we go in and we're coming back? And they're asking if we're American citizens. But yes, El Paso, by your definition, Randy, is trashy. Yeah, at least that's what we saw. So then we, I don't know, moseyed on, saw a horrible car accident. Man, as you know, I posted this. People drive like bats out of hell, bats out of the Carlsbad Caverns through Texas. Oh my. So the speed limit in some places was 85. Of course, they're going 90, I think 95. And we witnessed, well, I shouldn't say we witnessed some very fast driving, and I saw these guys going, and then police, state troopers were passing us, and there was a horrible, horrible car accident. 2 cars upside down, totally squished. And yeah, I'll just leave it at that. It was pretty sad. But I'm like, what do you expect if you're driving like that and people are weaving like crazy? So we both had a few near misses of people swerving in and out, semis crossing their line. It was kind of frightening. And there I was. I dropped back for a little while. I was going like 60, 65 in the slow lane because I'm like, I'm so stressed out from driving 85. That takes a lot of mental energy.
Well, then we crossed into the lovely state.
Doesn't that sound funny to say? I slow down to 65 because I'm so stressed.
Well, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, you're from Oregon. Everyone in Oregon drives 10 miles under the speed limit because they're all high. But anyways, so then we stopped at Katy, Texas, and went to Bucky's, which is the most amazing thing in the world from a truck stop perspective. So 260 gas pumps.
My son and I are in love with Bucky's, and the car wash was better than like Universal Studios ride. I got the car wash. It had bubblegum scented soap in like a rainbow of colors coming down. And then there was a lithograph thing on the windshield of Bucky. And this green slime ooze of rinse. And I was waiting for like a bunch of squirrels to go dancing around.
Well, he's not a squirrel. He's a beaver.
Oh, that's right.
I think the Oregon State Beaver should not have Benny the Beaver. They should have Bucky the Beaver. That would be way better.
The shopping and the pecans, the nuts, the food, the barbecue. It's like Bucky's. I love it.
No, Bucky's is amazing.
It's the best. Yeah, it is. Like, who knew?
Anyway. Well, unfortunately, no Bucky's on the west coast of Florida. We have to go to the east coast. So that was fun. And then we drove all the way across Texas. And then wow. and then we go into Louisiana.
What state? We went into Louisiana, and our daughter told us, "Don't stop. Go all the way through."
So we went through Louisiana, Mississippi, and then we stopped at Mobile, Alabama for the night, which was our last stop before we crossed into the promised land. And it was very interesting. I think what happens is as soon as you enter the South, people just break off the signal light indicator because it's useless because they don't use it.
No, yeah.
Like,
No,
like
no doubt.
literally, it's
Nobody
like, why would
signals.
you shoulder check and signal? Like, what kind of idiotic redundancy is that? We don't need to do that.
Well,
You should know where I'm changing. Does Dale Earnhardt or his beloved son, his only begotten son, Dale Earnhardt Jr., signal before he changes lanes? I say no. He drafts to the front of the pack and he changes his lanes whenever he wants to. So signal lights are for bitches, and we shall not use them. That is the way of the South.
And they do drive fast there too. So
Yes,
double
and they
trouble.
tailgate and they don't signal.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? When you're turning left into a gas station, maybe signal. Because guess what? You're not NASCAR. You're a dipshit in a Civic.
But I did. Okay, so now that we're done ragging on them, it was.
No, the South is great. I love the South.
I loved it.
Just
As soon as
signal,
we got
bitches.
into Louisiana, I was like, it's green. It's beautiful here. There's foliage. It's nice, because Texas was pretty brown, and there was a lot of oil drilling going on.
Oh no, Texas! I was so impressed. We stopped at Pecos, Texas, or Pecos, or whatever, however you say it, whatever, and it was all oil rig driller people working, and it was wild driving through there. Because if you want to see hard-working, salt of the earth, blue collar, holy crap, this is why you have gas in your car. This is why. It was mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It was really wild.
It was awesome. Yep. Down and dirty, oily, greasy, hardworking.
And then we crossed into Florida. And apparently Florida has something that is exactly like California, where they check you for fruit, for plants, because they, obviously there's a massive
They weren't
citrus.
checking for fruit.
Well, there's a citrus industry that they don't want destroyed by weird plants. So they asked us about plants.
And I had one in my car.
And our son confessed.
I brought our snake plant.
And the inspector, we should have got her name. She was so unbelievably nice. She says
she was so nice, and she got a picture with.
She wanted a picture of my Harley because she liked it so much.
Yeah.
And she was like, we can't search your car if it's in your car. So guess what? You don't have a plant.
Yeah, but
because I don't want to fill out the forms, and neither do you.
And she said a snake plant was no problem anyways.
Right. No, well, yeah. I mean, it's like.
And
I said, all of the weed plants we left in Oregon.
We did.
And she goes, did you smoke them at least first? I said, I did not inhale.
Oh my goodness.
So.
Anyway,
so that was good.
That was our trip. And I don't know, any other thoughts on any sites along the way? I saw this horrific cattle ranch. It wasn't a ranch. It was the
corporate farm.
Corporate
that was crazy.
Cattle farm. I just felt like I wanted to release the cows. It was so awful. They were literally crammed in there, and they had probably 2 feet to roam. It was disgusting. That was in California. Then I saw a beautiful buffalo ranch in Texas, and wanted to go pet the buffalo. Yeah.
Well, you're not in Yosemite, and you're not Asian, so you can't pet a buffalo.
No. Well, anyway, I just looked. Oh, your Gator cup is making a little noise there, my dear.
Is it? Well, no, you have the good headphones. That's why you can hear it. Anyways, so that was good. We made it here. We signed. We moved into the house. We got rid of that U-Haul, which honestly was like getting hemorrhoids taking off. It was like, bye-bye, U-Haul.
Yeah.
It was a very useful tool, but I never want to drive one again, which we will in 6 months because we still have a load of crap to take back.
And if you didn't fill it with all those giant, heavy toys like pinball machines and dragster tires.
Like the dragster tire weighs more than 2 pounds.
Commercial grade elliptical runner.
No, that thing. That's money.
Oh man, you can pack a heavy toolbox. Like his toolboxes. I don't know what is in there. It's all tools. Iron and metal and anyway.
They don't make tools out of fiberglass. They make them out of steel.
So your stuff was heavy.
Yes, my stuff was heavy. Yes. So I like my tools and my music the same. Heavy. Anyways. So
that was pretty funny. Okay, well, so before we get to the contest we had while we were traveling across the country, which really was kind of fun, and I wanted to do an extra question at the end, and I didn't get to it, and I had a little glitch because couldn't get to it in time, but I'm gonna announce it tonight, the final question, because we're gonna need a tiebreaker. We're gonna talk about the contest questions, and that'll be kind of fun. Why don't you share what we're drinking, and then we'll get to it.
And then I'm going to do a little bit of weird medicine.
Okay.
Because I just love weird medicine.
Well,
so
show us your
we are
beverage,
drinking,
and I would like a refill because it is so good.
Mermaid vodka.
Oh.
So I staggered into a liquor store. No, I'm sorry. That's incorrect. I staggered out of a liquor store, and I wanted to find something local because we like to feature local stuff.
I'm trying to focus it for
and this is Mermaid vodka from Fort Myers.
There you go.
About 60 miles south of here. It is distilled not 46, not 47, but 48 times. And I took one sip of this today, and I gave it to May, and I said, this is a mind blower. It is so smooth. It's making me hiccup. It's amazing.
It's made from corn, gluten-free, but
Yeah.
it's
40%
really
alcohol.
good.
Was
Honestly,
it not? Like,
how much was it cost-wise?
$19.50.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this to me is as good as, oh man, I'm thinking 44 North level. It's better than Monopoloa. I like it as much as Chopin. There you go.
Easily.
Yeah. So if you're in this area, pick yourself up some. If not, I'll mail you some at Christmas.
Well, and
just
I don't think you can see it's shrinking. But May has. We found out that our ice maker in our new home makes artisan ice. It makes ice globes. Look at that. Round ice globes. So that is so bougie. Enjoy your square ice, peasants.
We still have the square ice on the top, but we do have these globes.
Well,
it's pretty cool.
We have square ice when friends visit.
And then, I don't know, if the pool gets too hot, we'll throw the globes in the back. Isn't that a horrible background there?
Yeah, I know, it's terrible.
Yeah.
We could turn on the waterfalls, but then it would be too noisy.
Well, I think next time we should put the fire. So we do have fire pits back there that
yes, that would
fire
be cool.
bowls.
Fire bowls.
And if we were
bowls,
thinking,
fire.
we would have lit the fire bowls. But next week.
Time.
Anyway, we'll tell you a little bit about our new house in a bit. So do you want to share your medical story?
Yeah, this is a great story. So the Nurses' Health Study is this massive undertaking that went on for years and years and years, and it was like almost 160,000 women that were nurses, and they did it just because they had a captive population that would be willing to fill out a medical survey, basically. And what the team evaluated data collected by the Nurses' Health Study and the Nurses' Health Study 2. So there was two versions of 158,696 women aged 27 till 93 years. The study found that having been breastfed as an infant was associated with a 23% increase of colorectal cancer later in life. So actually being breastfed increased your risk of colon cancer later in life. But 23% increased risk. I don't have the study. I didn't go back. I didn't look at it. It's probably a 23% increased risk, relative risk increase, which honestly means basically nothing. But what struck me about the writing is the study found that having been breastfed as an infant was associated with a 23% increased risk of colorectal cancer. Being breastfed as
an adult?
An infant? Who else breastfeeds? And are they going to be part of a study? Having been breastfed as a middle-aged man identifying as a woman with a beard. What? But that actually is a thing, because when we interviewed Susan Landers, she talked about how they have breast milk banks. And and she has worked on trying to get them set up so that they're actually legitimate, and they test it and they make sure that there's no diseases, hepatitis, etc., in the breast milk. But they have to have these banks where they set them up like blood banks. Otherwise, these creepy guys just randomly buy breast milk because they're into buying breast milk. So maybe if you breastfeed as an adult, you have a 23% decreased risk of colorectal.
That's what Randy asked. Randy asked that. What if you partake later in life?
I know. I've been trying, but the well has gone dry.
Wait a minute. You do not tell the whole truth. When did you drink breast milk last?
Yes. Yeah, well, I was abused and I should have sued.
We played a prank on Tim, let's just say. And all I'll say is we slipped a little bit in his latte and he wondered why it tasted so good.
I'm like, wow, this is really different.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the creepy part of that story was it wasn't yours.
Yeah, but it was a friend who thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes it all right, doesn't it? Like Eskimos.
And I don't think
welcome to my igloo.
I don't think she's watching.
Enjoy my wife.
I don't think she's watching, so we can make fun of it. I don't know. To tell her that we made fun of it. I wonder if she even remembers anyway. That is a weird study. Very bizarre.
Well, but I think when you look at stuff like this, like you need more than a jaundiced eye and more than a grain of salt, because that is the complete whiff of bullshit just comes wafting off that, like the cattle farm in Bakersfield, California, that May was talking about. Because I think that is totally correlational, not there's so many confounders. It doesn't mean anything, but this crap gets published and then people run with it and it becomes something. And this is my biggest pet peeve in all of the longevity and live your best life medicine is they see shit like this and then they implement it in their life because they can. It's rich people doing stupid shit with vitamins. And it drives me absolutely crazy because like even Huberman, who's kind of your new hero, and his alcohol stuff. It's like you listen to what he talks about that. And it's like, if you had 2 drops of alcohol, you're going to die of liver cancer. And I look around and I go, we'd all be dead.
No,
there's a point where it's just like, this is just completely crazy. They look at the science.
Make sense. Plus, usually people that, I don't know, I was going to try to extrapolate and try to think people breastfeeding, maybe they're in a different socioeconomic class, but usually they're healthier and people are going to be, you can't even, it just sounds like a garbage study. I'm surprised it even got published.
Well, not only that.
And like Gary says, it is totally worthless study. You don't know other factors. And Randy thinks, what grown human is going to drink that? It's pretty tasty. It's like cream.
I love the containers. That's all I'm going to say. I love the containers.
Silence. Anyway, moving along then. Let's get to the next part of the show, shall we? Let's just drop that. All right. So our quiz. We had a contest running, trying to keep you guys engaged and following us and making, my life entertaining and thinking of things while we were traveling. And it was mostly me posting, but you had fun helping me think of some questions along the way. And we started off and we were driving and I was looking at the U-Haul as we left Oregon. I got really emotional. If you saw my post when we left, it was really bizarre. And I posted that. It was like one of those when your last child has everything, like their last year of high school and they're leaving home. We drove through town. It's like our last time as residents driving through. It was really weird. But anyway, my point is that I was watching the U-Haul down as we went down the I-5, and I thought this view, this whole emotional experience, without 2 cats in the vehicle with me, mind you. And someone
here,
guessed,
I'll simulate 2 cats in a car.
Pretty much, or grasping the steering wheel. When we were driving from Canada to the U.S., and someone guessed what you were towing in the contest, but I was driving our Jeep Cherokee, but Tim was towing as well. And so I thought, the view looks a little different because he was towing his motorcycle. So I thought, let's have people guess what was Tim towing behind. And that was 3 points if you got it right, because it was pretty tough. So, of course, what happens is the person that got the whole correct answer was your best friend. And so he's been excluded from the contest. Sorry, Grant, you're out, just like our daughter who got the other 3-pointer right. So Tim was towing. You're going to say?
A 67 Chevelle Malibu.
And we had some great answers. Okay. So here we go. Because
Who gets the points for the dumbest answer? That's what because those are the best.
I know. I said somebody should get points for the dumbest answer.
Well, not dumb. That's derogatory. For the most creative,
there
shall
you
we
go.
say.
The funniest answers. So we have snowmobile. I like that one. That was Keith's. Golf cart. That was pretty good. Someone even said Volkswagen.
No, that is not going to happen.
That was the most. I think I replied, I think Tim's going to get mad at you for that answer, Volkswagen.
Not a chance.
But there was a lot of car guesses. And so what I did was I gave no one other than Grant got the whole thing. So I gave people 1 point if they got the color right. So if you guessed red or burgundy, you got a point. If you guessed a Chevelle or Chevy, you got a point as well. And the closest, there was a couple people that got 1 point, but the winner, if we exclude Grant on that question, is Lariat Schulte, because she got 2. She did guess a let me find her answer.
I think
she had said a 66 or 67 SS Chevelle.
I think part of the reason she got that answer is because we were working together back then.
She probably remembered. Of course she did.
Because she was a surgical nurse and an obstetrical nurse that I worked with.
Yep.
And but nonetheless, that was a long time ago, and to be able to pull that one out of the bag was massive.
Yeah. Okay.
And I've had several 67 Chevelles, and the last one was 24 years ago.
Yeah.
That makes me sad.
And Tim doesn't have that car anymore, so kind of sad. But he does have a lot of fine Corvette. So okay, question number 2, if you were playing along, was who did we have lunch with in California? All right. So I said as a hint, it was somebody that was on our podcast, and we had some great guesses. A couple of people actually guessed that it was your friend Grant, which is funny because he was not. Well, he wasn't on the podcast, but he was in a couple of videos. And there was people guessed for Dr. Peter McCullough. Dr. Sabine Hazen was a good guess.
That was a great guess.
Because she lives in California. The closest person, and I gave them 2 points instead of 3, that guessed RFK. Now, RFK has not been on our show, but we had lunch with
Sophia Karstens.
Who is?
She has edited some of RFK's books. She is a singer, a producer, and an actress in Hollywood. And she has a wonderful podcast as well. Yes.
The Fourth Branch.
The Fourth Branch.
Yeah.
I think it's on, it was on AMP News. AMP News, The Fourth Branch, because it's under a podcast like syndicator. That may have changed. We will check with her before we post that back on socials. Great episodes.
So we had 2 episodes. She was on
story.
Both times with
Tony Lyons.
Tony Lyons. So they were talking about the book, The Real Anthony Fauci, and Sophia was on our podcast. So that's who we had.
Gavin Newsom.
That's awesome.
That's great.
So good job. So Donna Settlemyer, you got 2 points for that question. All right, next question. Okay, this was fun, and it was when we were at the concert. Tim had his battle jacket on, his so hot, sexy jeans, sleeveless jean vest, and our friend Judy that we still work with. She recognized. She wrote and she said, "Is that the jacket that I sewed all the patches on?" It was. So Tim had it on. I put it on. We took a picture. Of course, I was drowning in the thing. And so we said, who wore it better? There was a correct answer. And you would get 2 points if you guessed the correct answer of who wore it better. And what was the correct answer? Of course, the answer is Tim. Tim wore it better. He fills that thing out better. You guys were so kind. Everybody was voting
Yeah,
for
but
me.
you know, Elizabeth Manchester
She's-
deserves special credit.
She gets 1 point though.
Because
She said
she was like, May was cuter, but Tim has
she said I had the better legs, you had the better arms.
never a truer word has been spoken.
That was funny. So whoever guessed Tim, and that was a couple of people, Wendy Priestman, Vicky Graves, somebody, there was a guy, a friend of yours that posted, I couldn't find him again. It was on Instagram stories, I believe. I missed it. Who said you? And then Elizabeth, her answer was great. So I give her a point. So of course, Tim wore it better, you guys. Anyway. All right. We went through Arizona and I posted.
This is true. So dumb.
What am I horribly afraid of that lives in Arizona? So the only person that got it right was our daughter. It is so bizarre. So she's the only one that got the correct answer, which is
cactuses or cacti.
And I have to explain this. I did not know I was afraid of cactus. Most specifically, those like a saguaro.
So I don't know.
The big tall ones with the arms. The ones that on Bugs Bunny do that. Until we were in Arizona, we were going to visit our son, and we drove at night the first time, and I didn't notice them, and then I started to get these true panic attacks. And then as we toured around, we were at a golf tournament, and there's like the small ones. I started to get, I know, right? What the heck? Panic attacks around these things. And I said to Tim, it's like one of these things that happen when you're a kid and suddenly you remember. I thought I saw a movie, or it was like a Bugs Bunny show or some kind of cartoon where these cactuses came alive and kind of bent over and started shooting. Their arms were like their limbs were like arms, and they were shooting their needles. And it's so real to me, and I freak out and think these things are going to shoot their needles. And so I'm scared of cactuses. Now it's getting better, but nobody except our daughter.
No, the shooting of needles is downtown Portland, Seattle, and Los Angeles.
I am freakingly scared of cactus. Okay, so the runner-up answer, so no one other than Olivia got 3, was if you guessed my other 2 kind of fears. A lot of people said, of course, the common things were scorpions, rattlesnakes, tarantulas. I am scared of snakes. I don't like them. So I gave you a point if you said snakes. And my friend Vicky, she gets a point because she said skin cancer. And I am afraid. I wear 50 SPF every day.
But Sophia, she had the most creative answer, which was Katie Hobbs.
Yeah. Oh, and illegal border crossers was our friend. Was Debbie's answer. That was great. Oh, I like that. So if you guessed snakes, you did get 1 point, but no one got 3 other than Olivia, because that was a hard one. All right. That's the history on that. Next question was, I was thinking about the last time we crossed the border and became legal aliens, because we had to get our green cards when we moved from Canada to the US, and we had our U-Haul, and we had to stop at the border crossing and go in and get checked in. And it was a big day. And I said to you all, can you guess what day we crossed the border, became legal aliens? And I said, hint, it's a holiday. And there's kind of a double entendre there, because we became legal aliens and it was a holiday. So we were aliens for the holiday. So the holiday was
Halloween.
We crossed on October 31st, 1994. And someone got it right. There were some good guesses. A lot for the fall, like Thanksgiving, Canadian Thanksgiving, Columbus Day. But we crossed Halloween, and that was Karen. Karen got the 2 points for that. I should give her 3, actually, because that's a hard one. I don't know. Anyway, that's when we crossed. So kind of almost 29 years.
Well, 29 years ago, like almost to the day.
Exactly. Okay. And the final question was, as we were trekking our way across the country, I said we should ask how many states we've traveled in. Tim thought it would be too easy because you all could look it up, because we went down the I-5 and across on the I-10. But a lot of people didn't get it right. So I said, how many states have we been in on this journey? And then in the second, that was a point, because I thought it was going to be easy. And the second part was, we have done a bunch of traveling, and I gave you the hint that we went across in 2013 with our kids on a big trip in our RV in the summer for 3 weeks, and we went from Oregon all the way to New York City and Washington, and we crossed a lot of states. So I asked, how many states have we been in? Meaning, how many and how many have we left to go so that we've seen all 50 states? Tim has seen a few more than me, so I based it on who has seen the least. So you had to guess how many states we have been in
without going
over for 3 points. So first off, this trip, how many states did we go? Where were we in, Tim?
9.
We were in 9 states. I think a lot of people didn't either count Oregon or they did not know we went through Mississippi. I think that was the
SSI.
we did. We went through Mississippi, a little piece of it. So there you go. Oregon, California, New Mexico. Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, Louisiana, Alabama.
No, Mississippi. Alabama.
Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, 9 states. So we had quite a few of you do get the 9 points on that one. Well, 1, 2, 3, only 3 people actually. Amber, Martha, and
Gary. I think Gary got it right.
Gina. No, Gary didn't. Gary guessed over. I think he guessed 10. I think Gary will clarify. Okay, second part of the question. This was hard. How many? So this would be Tim's been in a couple more than me. So I have to catch up with him, I think, by 2 or 3 states till we get to 50. A lot of you overestimated how much we have traveled. We have seen quite a few, but I have. Okay, Gary.
Yeah, he did say 9. I knew he said 9.
I thought he guessed twice. Anyway,
he's a genius. He's not going to make that mistake.
I still have 15 states to get to, and I think you have 12.
Yes.
So we have combined, if we're counting us together, have 15 left to get to till we've seen them all as a couple. That means the answer was 35. And so we do have...
Well, unless you're Barack Obama, because he's been to 51, then it would be...
So the closest was Jamie Williamson. She guessed 34.
Yes. Yeah, no, that was...
So it was like The Price is Right. She was very good.
Yeah.
A lot of people were in the 40s, like 42, 46. I was like,
yeah, the problem is when you go coast to coast, like we've gone a couple times, you don't need to go to Kansas or Oklahoma.
Yeah. So we have to get to Alaska. We have a cluster in the Northeast, like Maine.
Well, there's a
and
ton
Vermont
in the Northeast.
And Rhode Island and New Hampshire. Then we have this clump
in the middle,
in Kansas and Missouri and Oklahoma, and there's one more there. Nebraska.
We went to
Arkansas. Those 4 are all clumped together. We haven't been to those, and then the Carolinas. So,
South Carolina. We've been to South Carolina.
Yeah. Anyway, there's a few more to go, and we'll get there. We got to go up to see the cherry blossoms and the leaves turn in the Northeast in the fall. You're thinking
sure.
No? He's thinking, no, I'm going to stick to my pool.
Stay here.
All right.
It's fall. Why am I leaving Florida? Because I want to watch leaves die.
So,
like Jim Gaffigan says, you're so pretty when you're dying. Yes.
Anyway, okay. So Desiree and I were writing down the answers from all the input from Facebook, Instagram, the stories. And I went back again tonight and wrote them down and tried to keep track. So I so much had fun doing that and appreciate all of you playing along, the ones that did. And we have prizes. And the grand winner of this will actually be... oh my gosh, here we go, is Jamie Williamson. She had 3 points total. There's a bunch of runner-ups, and we have 6 second place winners with 2 points. So we're going to have a, a tiebreaker for second. So what we will do is, not everybody might be watching or listening. We will announce the tie-breaking question here. We will also reach out on socials to the 6 people who are in second place with 2 points. Laria, Donna, Vicky, Wendy, someone named, it's a an acronym that's on Instagram. I'll find it. And Karen, who have 2 points. And you have to get the tie-breaking question. It's a tough one, but it's the Price is Right style again. Guess as close as you can without going over. I was going to post this as another question, and I didn't get to it because we have
Randy.
receipts all over the bed. And so I was going to ask, we're going to talk about how much gas we used and how many miles we went on this trip. So we were driving a U-Haul. We were driving an Escalade pulling a trailer, and I drove my car. The U-Haul took the most gas. The Escalade took the second most gas, and my car took the least gas. But I want you to guess as close as you can without going over how many gallons of gas the big 26-foot U-Haul took from Oregon to our destination in Florida. So the U-Haul didn't make any
Well,
round.
we should give them the destination,
So you can. It's
which is Bremerton, Florida.
Bremerton.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's
Have
in
another
Washington. Have another
Gator.
drink. Bradenton, Florida.
So we started in
It's really hard when you can't remember where
we
you
started
live.
in Sweet Home. We're in Bradenton. You don't have to guess mileage. You want to give them approximate mileage, and that'll help them out.
Nope. They
Nope.
can figure it out.
Okay. So the so the correct answer, yes, is more gas than all of us can afford, but it's cheaper than paying someone else to do it. Is the correct answer.
Yes.
I won't tell you how much it was because that'll be then too easy to figure out. If you look up how many miles per gallon a 26-foot U-Haul gets, that might help you out. Anyway, guess closest how many gallons of gas the U-Haul guzzled without going over, and you will win second prize. And actually, the prizes are nice. I believe we have, if I can say it, some Yeti thermal cups, coffee cups, or are they wine
Well,
coolers?
we will.
Yeah, not here to show you, but they're coming to you. So you will get a Yeti cup, and we'll get your information from you. So, all right, there you go.
So,
and anyone else?
Final destination for Debbie, Bradenton, Florida.
Oh, yes. Bradenton,
Where
Florida.
did we start, though?
That's the mystery question. And if you don't know, you're out of the contest already. Yeah. All right. So we will, yes, Desiree says a Yeti wine tumbler, a glass beer mug, or koozie, or all three. Well, there you go. How a jug of that vodka would be a great prize. I agree.
Man, this stuff is.
But the last time I mailed booze in the mail, which I've done,
exploded.
It exploded because I think someone drop kicked it. Because, anyways, okay, we are going to tell you about the show coming out this week. We have great content that we recorded a long time ago. I'm excited for this one. I've been listening to her podcast for a long time. I read her books. This is Alex Stewart from the Low Talks Life podcast. She is from Australia. She has had, I think it's her podcast has been out for 6 years or more. She has amazing guests on there. I recently listened to one where she had the granddaughter of Dr. Bronner, who makes Dr. Bronner's soap and cleaning products, and who's running the business now. Talk about that. She has all kinds of amazing people on her show.
This is a lot easier to drink out of than the gigantic and
planter that you're drinking out of, the Gator planter. Yeah. So Alex was on our show to talk about her book, Low Talks Life, and it is. I love her attitude because she's sensible.
Yes.
She doesn't. She's like, do your best, make small changes. It's the same as with the people that are sensible about diet. It's like 80% of the time, do your best. 20% of the time, go with the flow. But just make little improvements in your health and your life with your products you're using on your skin and your house and your food, etc. So I hope you tune into that episode and check out her books and even her show. She has some great content. Anything else you want to throw in there?
We have been repurposing truth bombs because we have not produced them because we have been on the road. So those will be coming back shortly. And then working on a whole bunch of new, really great episodes. The studio will be up and running very shortly. And we have fiber internet, which I'm unbelievably excited about. So We have upgraded our pool status.
And you've upgraded your shirt status.
And we have upgraded our internet. And yes,
look at this.
This
no
is my
t-shirts
son's
allowed.
shirt. And I think everyone vote. He should give me this shirt.
Yes, everybody vote. Because he's been wearing it. Because
It fits
there's no t-shirts allowed in the HOA. So
there is.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, the HOA is interesting, isn't it? Like, so we've gone from being country doctors to like country club doctors. And I was like, what's this going to be like? Well, people are coming over every day when they see us unloading, and they're like, let's have drinks. Here's some free baking. And I'm like, what the, like, holy crap.
I know.
This is wild.
Today I found out the pool boy to get, yesterday we found out.
Yes, but he only knocks twice. And strangely, he only comes over on days when I'm working a 12-hour shift. So odd, the pool boy.
But anyway, so next I need a hair person. And that's like going to become a critical element, or my hair is going to be the color of that pool pretty soon.
Blue? Yes.
If I'm dyeing it myself, it will be
nice
blue.
And easy.
Either that.
We'll fit it in Florida with blue hair. All you got to do is put your seat on the very bottom when you're driving so that all they see is knuckles. And then never shoulder check. Well, you can't, because you can't see out of the window when you shoulder check.
Either that or an expensive ticket back to Oregon to my girl, Heather.
Yeah, I'm driving my Cadillac, and I've got lots of money and insurance. I don't give a shit if I drive into anybody.
Anyway, it's been fun. And we thank everybody that's on here joining us for our new episode. Send us your comments. We have a new Truth Serum newsletter out today that I wrote poolside, if you didn't see by my little picture with my coffee cup. And we so appreciate all of our fans. You're the reason we're here. And we appreciate our sponsors as well that sponsor our shows. All great sponsors. And of course, we couldn't have done this whole 2-week thing without Desiree keeping the show going. So everybody put little clappy hands and hearts up on social right now for Desiree.
Yes.
For keeping the show going, as well as, Mitch and Nathan behind the scenes as well. But Desiree, we love you. All right. So check out our episodes. Send us emails and notes on the socials about things you want to see down here. And we will get things back on the road and show and everything going again.
Yeah, if we get enough votes, I might shove my head into a gator's mouth.
Well, I might be able to arrange that.
That would be a gigantic gator's mouth. Let's just put it that way.
All right, everybody. We are going to be over and out. See y'all next time. Now, a final word from our sponsor. At Pearson Ravitz, they understand that life can change in an instant. It's hard to imagine that a sudden illness, injury, or catastrophic event could put you and your family in a devastating financial situation. Physician-founded and physician-focused, Pearson Ravitz builds human connections before they create quotes. Visit www.pearsonravitz.com today and embark on a journey of safeguarding your future. It's no secret that medicine is a bit uptight. That's why Tim and I created BS Free MD to mix things up a little and have fun in the process. Besides, we are having these exact same discussions all the time, so we thought we might as well invite everyone to the party. If you really like us, you can get plenty more and maybe see one of Tim's cool tattoos on our Instagram or Facebook pages at BS Free MD. See you next time.
While we try to keep BS Free MD as raw and real as possible, we can't be held responsible for any medical decisions or discussions had as a result of what you've heard on the show. We know, bummer. But the truth is, we really do care about your questions. So feel free to reach out to us by email at doc@bsfreemd.com.